Hello folks, today I want to show you two books. This is the first one and here is the second one. Both are dictionaries. This is the Macintosh Dictionary from 1992. The authors are Andy Baird and the editor is Sharon Sadetto-Aker. Actually, I found this very nice. Thank you. I actually don't remember having met you. Probably you sent it to me because I did a review for public radio. And this second book is by Douglas Downing and Michael Covington. And I like the color and the golden touch of that book. This is from 1989, so they're both in a way historic, especially when it comes to computers. Let us have a look inside the two books. That one is a bit where it concentrates quite a bit on Fortran and basic syntax and programming, but not only. It's an interesting book anyway. It's the second edition. I don't know when the first one was published. Anyway, and this is, well, a devotion to the Macintosh community. And back in the early 1990s, there was quite an intense fight between the IBM-compatible world, which is basically Windows now, and the Macintosh world. Well, let's have a look inside. The Macintosh Dictionary lists the word email under E, of course. Email at that time was not well known as a term, email, but probably electronic mail was. There were companies such as CompuServe, AOL or Genie around who used the term electronic mail. The abbreviation in parentheses looks odd to me now, e-mail, I never heard it. To flame, that's an interesting word in connection to the internet and to bulletin boards at that time, BBSs. A strongly worded and often angry message posted on an electronic bulletin board, it often leads to a flame war. I never heard that in context of bulletin boards or later the internet, but well, quite interesting. A frame grabber, I thought that was a screenshot, but it isn't. It's a piece of hardware that in 1/30th of a second, the duration of a single video frame, can convert that frame into a computer-based bitmap image so you can process it on a Mac, for example. In this case, in this book, Mac, obviously. HyperCard, that actually was the reason why I purchased an Apple Macintosh at that time, or earlier. HyperCard means different things to different people. I don't think so. It is an electronic Rolodex, a toolkit for customizing programs and making your own programs, a way of organizing information. It's basically the predecessor of, well, clicking on a link. Very elegant. I really enjoyed that. HyperTalk is the next subject in this section here. Under I find the internet. And this is one of the most interesting parts in this book here. The internet, I mean, the book was written in 1992, or published in 1992, 1 year before the World Wide Web appeared. The internet is a large international network of thousands of computers running the Unix operation system. Most internet users are affiliated with colleges and universities, a few with large corporations or government. Almost no private individuals are on the internet. It just costs too much. The internet software is fairly primitive by today's standard. It's strictly text-based and supports only 7-bit data transfers. But the system is so large that it has become a standard of sorts. Well, things changed dramatically a year later. And of course, in a Macintosh dictionary, we are flaming the PC. The PC is a personal computer, generally taking to mean a DOS-compatible personal computer as opposed to a Mac. original 1981 IBM PC was designed and built in Boca Raton, Florida, which is Spanish for rat's mouth. Would you buy a computer from rat's mouth in Florida? Well, why not? But here you see how the Macintosh community and the IBM compatible, the PC community, were well separated. And this continues with Windows, Microsoft's attempt to convince DOS users that their machines can be just as good as a Mac. Even though most DOS users aren't buying this fantasy, many say that while Windows might not be as sophisticated as the Mac's OS, it's good enough. In any case, since few computer owners are willing to admit that the hardware and software they've spent so much time and money on are obsolete, millions of PC owners have bought Windows in hopes of making their PCs look more up-to-date. However, there are some fundamental problems. Not anymore, really. So this concludes my exploration of this book, the Macintosh Dictionary. Let's get to the next one. The Dictionary of Computer Terms from 1989, written by Michael Covington and Douglas Downing. In the preface, you read about the intention of this book. This book is intended to help you understand what computers are, what they do, and how they do it. How they do it, that's the reason why in this book you have quite a lot of computer code. Email, under E, is an abbreviation for electronic mail. See electronic mail, and under electronic mail you find just a short note about what it is. The Macintosh, under M, is the Macintosh computer introduced by Apple in 1984, was the first personal computer, you see a PC, a personal computer, to use a graphical user interface with a mouse. That's pretty true. Users copy files and activate software by pointing to symbols, icons, on the screen rather than typing commands. The screen is always in graphics mode. It is divided into windows and can display all the typefaces that the printer can print. The Macintosh user interface was derived from that of Xerox workstations. It has been imitated by a number of other operating systems, including Microsoft Windows and OS/2 Presentation Manager. Very important was the modem in the late 1980s. The modem, short for modulator-demodulator, is a device that encodes data for transmission over a particular medium, such as telephone lines, coaxial cables, fiber optics, or microwaves. The modems commonly used with the computer terminals and microcomputers transmit RS-232 serial data over telephone lines. Actually, I used a modem with my Atari ST and maybe before with the Commodore 64. I don't remember that exactly because I had an acoustic coupler at that time. Natural language processing is very interesting. At present, all human communication with computers, and that is in 1989, is done in artificial languages such as BASIC and Pascal. Computers would be much more useful if they could understand instructions in ordinary human languages, in natural languages such as English or French. In the early days of computers, it was assumed that successful natural language processing programs would be easy to construct, given sufficient computing power. However, progress has been slow. This problem has been solved by now, especially with the arrival of smartphones. Here's a typical thing of a subroutine. Under S, you find that in the Computer Dictionary from 1989. Subroutine here is basically a command in computer code which jumps into a subroutine, and once the subroutine is executed and finished executing, you jump back to where you came from. You find these explanations for the subroutine, or a loop, for example, in programming, very nicely documented in this book. This is my extra, so to say, TCP/IP. The TCP/IP Transport Control Protocol Interface Program, developed by the US Department of Defense, is one of several software protocols that can be used to connect computers together. It is widely used in Ethernet systems and packet radio systems, but not in the internet. It's not mentioned here, the internet, although it existed. I'll leave you for now. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.